Hello, and welcome to Everyday English Unlocked, the podcast where two friends have real conversations in simple, natural English, so you can listen, learn, and feel confident with everyday British English. I'm Edward.
And I'm Victoria. We are so happy you're joining us today.
Every episode, Victoria and I pick a topic from everyday life and just chat about it naturally. Today's topic is a brilliant one. We are talking about getting around London. Transport, travel, commuting, the whole lot.
Yes. And Edward and I have very different experiences of travelling around London, which makes this conversation really interesting.
Very different indeed. I'll give you one clue about the difference between us. I own a car.
And I absolutely do not. I rely completely on public transport, buses, the tube, that's the London Underground, and a lot of walking.
So, we've got both sides covered, the driver and the public transport commuter. Hopefully you'll relate to a lot of what we talk about. Shall we get into it?
Let's do it. So Edward, tell me about your car life in London. Driving in London seems absolutely terrifying to me.
I love having a car. There is something really freeing about being able to go wherever you want, whenever you want. No timetables, no waiting on a cold platform. But, and this is a big but, driving in London is genuinely stressful. There are days where I've moved about 50 metres in 20 minutes.
50 metres, oh my goodness.
And then there's the congestion charge. If you drive into central London during the day, you pay over £15. It's quite expensive, actually.
£15 just to drive into the centre every day?
Every single day, yeah. So I tend to avoid that zone if I can and plan my routes around it.
Right, okay. And what about parking? Because that's another thing that sounds like an absolute nightmare in London.
Oh, parking. Don't get me started. Finding a space in London is like a treasure hunt, except there's no treasure at the end. Just a tiny space and an enormous bill.
That is such a good description. No treasure at the end.
Honestly. And road rage is real too. Something about London traffic just brings something out in people. Beeping horns, people cutting in front, cyclists weaving between cars. From the car, it can feel quite nerve-wracking.
So, given all of that, the traffic, the costs, the parking, the stress, do you ever think, why do I even bother with a car?
All the time. But then I think about driving out to the countryside on a weekend, or not having to stand squashed against a stranger on the tube. And yeah, I keep the car.
Fair enough. The countryside weekends do sound lovely, but for getting around the city itself, I genuinely think the tube is better.
All right, go on then. Sell it to me. Tell me about the wonderful world of the tube.
Okay, so, yes, the tube has its problems, but I love that you know exactly when the next train is coming. You tap in with your Oyster card, walk onto the platform, and within minutes you're moving. No traffic jams underground. I use the Central Line and the Northern Line mostly. The Central Line gets incredibly hot in summer, like being cooked, but it's so fast across London. Brutal is the right word. You need to carry a little fan, and lots of people do. It's a funny shared experience. Everyone's suffering together. And the tube has a very specific smell. It's sort of dusty and warm and undergroundy. Once you know it, you never forget it. But peak hours are tough. Rush hour, roughly 7 to 9 in the morning and 5 to 7 in the evening. The tube is absolutely packed. You are standing with your face in someone's armpit.
Okay, right. That does not sound fun.
It's not fun, but off-peak it's completely different. You can get a seat, read a book, just relax. I always have a book or podcast on.
Right. Yeah, that's something I can't do in the car.
Exactly. When you're driving, you have to concentrate. Whereas on the tube, I can just zone out and read. I've got through so many books that way.
I'll give you that one. What about delays, though? The tube is famous for delays. There is a good service on all lines, except there never is.
Oh, the announcements. We apologise for the delay to your journey. I've heard that so many times. Yes, delays are real. Signal failures, all sorts of things can cause them. But honestly, in my experience, the delays aren't that frequent. And even when they happen, it's usually only 10 or 15 minutes. The worst is being stuck in a tunnel. No signal on your phone, no idea what's happening.
That would stress me out. I think that's why I could never fully give up the car. I'd feel quite trapped underground.
You do get used to it. And what I love about the tube is there's a community feel. Everyone's in the same boat. No one talks, of course. That's very much a rule.
Right, very British.
Very British. Everyone stares at their phone, but there's a silent understanding. We're all commuting, all tired, all just want to get home.
That is oddly heartwarming. What about buses? Do you use those much as well?
Buses. Yes, I love the bus actually, when it turns up. The thing with London buses is they can be quite unreliable because they're stuck in the same traffic as everyone else.
Ah, right, yeah. Unlike the tube.
Exactly. You can be waiting at a bus stop and the app says 3 minutes, then it disappears, and 2 buses arrive together. That's called bus bunching. It's a real thing. It drives me mad.
Bus bunching? I've never heard that term before. That's brilliant.
It's a very real frustration. But what I love about buses, especially the classic red London double-decker, is the top deck. Always go upstairs. You get the best views of the city.
Oh yeah, the top deck is iconic. Even I get on a bus occasionally, and I always go straight upstairs. You're right. You see London completely differently from up there.
And paying is so easy now. Just tap your contactless card or Oyster card. No cash needed. That's made it so much more convenient.
The Oyster card system is great. Even I use it when I occasionally get public transport. Right. What about walking and cycling? Do you ever do either?
I walk a lot since I don't have a car. London is great for walking. There are parks everywhere and the riverside walks are beautiful. But cycling? No. I'm too scared to cycle in London, honestly.
I can understand that. There are cycle lanes now, which has helped a lot. But I still think cycling in central London takes a certain kind of bravery.
I take my hat off to cyclists. They're brave. But I'll stick to the tube and my own 2 feet, thank you. What about you? Do you ever cycle?
I walk, yeah. And I've tried cycling a few times. I've used those Santander hire bikes, the red ones you see all over London.
Oh yeah, the Boris bikes. People still call them that.
People still call them Boris bikes. Yes, I did enjoy cycling on those, but I wouldn't do it in rush hour. On a quiet Sunday morning through the park though. Lovely.
Oh, that does sound nice actually. Right, so let's compare then. Honestly, whose commute is better, yours or mine?
Okay, so I think it genuinely depends. If I'm doing a short journey within London, door to door, I'd probably say the tube is faster and less stressful. Hand on heart.
I'll take that, thank you.
But the moment I need to carry something heavy, or I'm going somewhere outside London, or it's late and I'm tired, the car wins every time. Your own music, your own temperature, nobody breathing on you.
I will admit the personal space is very appealing, especially in winter. Waiting at a cold, wet bus stop at 7 in the morning when it's dark is genuinely miserable.
Right? And yet, you still choose not to get a car.
I do. Partly because of the cost. Running a car in London is enormous. Insurance, petrol, the congestion charge, parking. My tube and bus fares are much cheaper overall.
That's fair. I think about what my car costs every month, and it is substantial. Let's just say substantial.
Substantial. Before we wrap up, do you have a funny or memorable story about travelling around London?
Oh yes. So, a few months ago, I was driving through South London and got completely stuck because of a burst water pipe. My sat-nav kept redirecting me, but every route was jammed. I drove around the same roundabout 3 times, and still ended up an hour late, 3 times. It was humiliating. And the worst part is, the person I was meeting took the tube and arrived half an hour early. So,
I love that. And I've got one too. I was on the Northern Line during rush hour, absolutely rammed, and the man next to me fell asleep standing up, swaying with the train. When his stop came, he woke up instantly, said, "Excuse me," very politely, stepped off and was gone. I'll never forget it.
that is so London, so perfectly London, said excuse me and everything.
Of course he did. We're very polite, even when we're half asleep. Right. I think that's a lovely note to end on.
So, to sum up, driving gives you freedom and flexibility, but it can be expensive and stressful. Public transport, the tube, the bus, is often faster in the city and cheaper overall, but can be crowded and unpredictable.
Exactly. Whatever works best for you and your life. London is a huge, busy city, and everyone finds their own way through it. Literally.
Very literally. All right, that is all for today's episode of Talk Around Town. Thank you so much for listening. We really hope you enjoyed it and that you picked up some useful English along the way.
Thank you. If you're learning English, the best way to improve is to listen to natural conversation as much as you can. We'll always be here to help.
We'll be back soon with another episode. Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and we'll talk around town again soon.
Bye for now.